Good morning, everybody, and once again, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about partition-aware compaction, a fail-safe strategy for streaming data lakes with Apache Iceberg. So, without wasting any further time, let's get started. I have this blog on Medium, so of course, this covers all of that. I want to cover a little bit of theory and then a short demo, and we'll conclude the video after that. So let's talk about the challenge, right? In a typical data lake architecture, two key process operates on your tables, right? Streaming ingestion jobs, which is continuously appending new records, often partitioned by time, right? And the compaction job, which is periodically rewriting smaller files into larger files to optimize the query performance and reduce the overhead. Now, what's the problem, right, in this? Well, the problem is if both the job operates on the same partition, especially the latest or the hot partition, they may, again I'm using the word may or can, they can conflict, causing write failures or data corruption due to Iceberg optimistic concurrency control. Now, one of the ways in which you can probably solve this is using a following solution. So let me give you a high level idea here. So when you're doing a compaction, right, your streaming jobs are gonna write into your current daily partition, and your compaction jobs are touching older partition or the historical partitions. So for example, when you call the compaction here, right, you're saying where event time is less than current date. So for example, if I had to show you this, right? So today, let's say this is today's partition, right? You're doing a stream ingestion here. Your compaction is not touching this partition at all. You are doing compaction for yesterday and older, right? Does that make sense? So let me show you a small demo. Maybe hopefully that would make sense. So I'm gonna do a historical load here. So I'm gonna run this Python code. This will create an Iceberg table locally on my machine, and of course it will populate with some mock data. So let's wait for a couple of seconds. So here you can see historical data for 1 day ago, right? So it's running. So let's wait. As you can see now, it's using that faker library, generating some mock data, and then it's of course writing the data to Iceberg. So 2 days ago, 3 days ago, it's done. Now if I go to my Iceberg table locally over here, you will see I have event time 2025 05 18, 2025 05 17, 16, 15, 14, and so on. Today, while I'm recording the video, it's 18th, right? This is the current partition. Now what I'll do is I'll say, hey, let me start writing my job. Now this is gonna write, this is a streaming data, right, for today, right? So it's gonna keep appending data into current today's partition. Now when I run my compaction job, right, so for example, I'm actually gonna do that, right? So here, so let's let this job start, and then I'm gonna run the compaction simultaneously. So here you can see generating batch of 1 of 10. So at this point, new data is constantly being appended into this partition. 2025, you saw that file just got added, right? So new files are constantly coming, but your compaction, when you're running, it's not, see, it's adding, right? So my compaction are always going to be on the older files, right? So let's take a look at that. So while this job is running at this point, right, I can run this compaction, which means, hey, do it for event time less than equal to current date. So if I run this, and remember, my current job is running, and here you can see it was able to compact these smaller files in the older partition into larger, bigger files, right? So very simple video. Just wanted to probably just talk about this. And again, you can of course read more about this on my blog post. And by the way, I actually came to know about this while I was casually reading one of the AWS blog posts. So this is the blog post which was very recently uploaded, managed concurrent write conflicts in Apache Iceberg with AWS Glue data catalog. I think that here they have done a very fantastic job of explaining all these scenarios here, right? So I just wanted to point out these resources in case if you want to read more, right? So here, I believe somewhere on the bottom section, they mentioned this. So yeah, here. So see, they clearly said that, right, in this blog, which is why I was like, just reading this. So when you do this one, right, so you want to minimize, so here you can see they have mentioned, right, by narrowing the compaction scope with a date partition filter in the where clause, you can avoid conflicts between streaming ingestion and the compaction operation. The streaming jobs can continue to work with the latest partition while the compaction processes the historical data. So yeah, that's all I had to cover in this particular video. So I hope this was informative. Again, as usual, the resources, right? Medium blog, AWS blog post, and whatever I read is there on my description. So in case if you want to dive deeper or read more, feel free to do that. With that being said, keep smiling, keep programming, and I'll see you in the next video.